How you doing, YouTube? It's Will from Will Development, and today I'm talking about my favorite World's Strongest Man, strongman moments, or people that just never quite made it. So these names are names of guys that never quite made it to World's Strongest Man status, or never quite made a name for themselves in the actual competition of World's Strongest Man. Because it just wouldn't do it justice if I only talked about World's Strongest Man when we have so many other competitions and so many other strongmen that perhaps never got the chance to make their name in World's Strongest Man or made their name somewhere else. And in recent history, one of the most charismatic and notable strongmen has been Eddie Hall, Beast from England, who owns the world deadlift record, strongman deadlift record, at 1,026 pounds. It's an amazing feat, and at the time of shooting this video, he is actually on his way to a deadlift competition where he's hoping to pull 500 kilograms, which is 1,100 pounds. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, quite honestly, but it would still be impressive to watch him try like hell. And if Benedict Magnusson is there to push him, I believe he can. Get close. Another name who's an amazing strongman that never quite made it to that World's Strongest Man top is Terry Hollands. Terry Hollands is an amazing strongman competitor. Let's just say the United Kingdom, for simplicity's sake. He has made it to World's Strongest Man more times than any other British competitor in history. And he consistently made it to the World's Strongest Man finals every time he got invited to go or qualified to go. Terry Hollands has since retired from strongman, but he'll always be remembered as one of Britain's most amazing strongman competitors. And speaking of amazing strongman competitors who represent Britain, Mark fucking Felix is an amazing strongman competitor. I don't remember where the hell he's originally from, but he represents Britain most of the time, and the United Kingdom in general. Though he's never really been impressive in terms of other places, things like sandbag carries and medleys, things like that, none of it really matters when you find out how old he is. And Mark Felix is usually the oldest competitor at 50-something, still competing and being a fucking boss. He, in fact, just got done doing a deadlift competition, or a strongman competition with teams with Eddie Hall, where he and Eddie Hall beat the team deadlift record, pulling an unprecedented 1,800 pounds off the ground. Impressive feat, considering each competitor was carrying just about 964 pounds each. Fucking boss. Mark Felix also still owns the Captains of Crush record, which is a record they used to hold annually to see who could close a 300-pound gripper. Mark Felix is one of the few men in history to have ever done it. And if you saw his forearms, you'd understand why. Another great British competitor who doesn't really get a lot of talks about him is Lawrence Shahlaei. I get a lot of flack for loving Lawrence Shahlaei, mainly because basically every time he competes he seems to get injured somehow. But I'm a sucker for charisma. And Lawrence Shahlaei is one of the most charismatic strongmen I've ever seen. He reminds me so much of Jeff Capes, and when he is on, he is on. One of my favorite moments with him was when they were doing a squat lift competition. Everybody else in the competition could barely manage to do 3. Some people couldn't even get the bar on their back and hold it there. Lawrence Shahlaei beasted out like 10 reps with this weight and looked around and said, "Shall I do another?" And then he went for one more and ended up hurting himself. He probably has one of the strongest legs in history. But enough about the British people. I want to talk about some Americans. Travis Ortmeyer, Derek Poundstone, 2 amazing strongman competitors. Neither one have really made a huge name or impact in World's Strongest Man just yet. But these guys made names for themselves in things like the Arnold Strongman Classic. Both of these men have been tremendous competitors and push themselves to limits that very few ever get to. And what can I say? I love my flag the most. And one of my personal favorites that I would be remiss if I didn't mention would be Mark fucking Henry, the WWE superstar who was actually the first ever Arnold Strongman Classic winner. One could argue he didn't really face that stiff of competition back then, and he never won again, but it did give him the title and the honor of being able to say that he gave people the world's strongest slam. As always, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to leave some comments down below. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Kill me for fucking forgetting your favorite person ever from this miscellaneous list, I guess we should call it. And subscribe for more strongman shit. I plan on talking about strongman, bodybuilding. I always have plenty of cool DIY builds and all that good stuff. But most of all, be sure to leave me a comment, because I'm interested and I love talking about strongman. And if you don't, then what's yours?